Okay, so this is a damage test with a maxed out 50 mil Midas. 82k, interesting. This is with a warped aspect of the end that is not even sharp 6. I already beat the Midas. And this is with a fabled Livid dagger that's sort of maxed out. Wait, what? Wait, no, that should not be... Floor 5's selection of new items has really shaken up the meta, and for once, it's not the mage meta, but the berserker meta, which also means the general out of dungeon grind meta. As a result, there are a few new swords in late game and end game. For the late game, there's a warped aspect of the end, and for the late game, there's a livid dagger. And to compare these all, I have a gilded Midas and an aspect of the dragons. So first, the late game swords. So how do they all stack up in price? All fabled AUTD costs just 5 million coins, a fabled livid dagger costs 12 million coins, a warped aspect of the end also costs 12 million coins, and a gilded Midas costs 80 million coins, although after this video, I suspect these prices to be much different. As the cheapest sword, the fabled aspect of the dragons at max has 255 damage, 190 strength, and 100% crit damage. Next, the fabled livid dagger at max has 240 damage, 165 strength, 100 crit chance, 110 crit damage, and 100 attack speed, as well as making all critical hits deal 50% more damage, and all backstabs doing triple that. Although this actually means every single hit because, well, 100% crit chance. The warped aspect of the end has 295 damage, 295 strength, and 60% crit damage, although can be increased to 370 damage using strong dragon armor. Finally, the gilded Midas at its insane price boasts 390 damage, 240 strength, and 60% crit damage. Into the damage tests. The aspect of the dragons dealt the lowest damage of all the swords, which is kinda to be expected as it's the cheapest. The warped AOTE with superior came with a bit more damage than the AOTD, and then the AOTE with strong dragon edging even further ahead. Next, the Mida Sword dealing around 20% more damage than the AOTD, but incredibly close to the AOTE in terms of damage for like 6 times the price. The Livid's dagger at the absolute top of the damage, which just from the front alone is about 20% better than the Midas and is like, what, 68 million coins cheaper? And if you get a backstab, which is albeit unrealistic in a real scenario, it deals more than double the damage than the Midas does. Interesting to note, this works against the dragons too. Oh, and it also comes with a sword throw ability that deals just slightly more damage than my fist. So does this mean the Midas sword is absolutely worthless now? Well, yes, it does. The stats of the Livid Dagger means it gets 100% crit chance and attack speed by default, meaning you can reforge your talismans for pure strength and critical strength. The 50% on all critical hits is a fancy way of saying 50% added to all damage you deal because every hit is critical, and the occasional backstab is a nice touch. The sword also comes as a dungeon's item, meaning it's just ready to use right into a dungeon with all the lovely stat boosts from your catacombs level. The only requirement is beating floor 5 once, which isn't hard to do, and you can ask a high level friend to carry you if you need it, or go watch this tutorial on how to beat floor 5 that we made. So, what's the catch? In reality, I don't know. This sword beats all offerings in the game for the price of less than a superior piece and makes one of the game's biggest money sinks just useless. I have a strong feeling the sword is going to get slapped with a huge nerf after this video goes up, or the Midas is going to receive another buff or addition, so don't panic sell your sword or buy a dagger just yet. But otherwise, get the sword. Screw the warped AUTE, it's useless and has no upgrade path. Absolutely screw the Midas, it has no place in the meta, and only use in AUTD as long as you need to. There's also the Shadow Fury Sword, but its stats are pretty bad for outside of dungeons use, and even for inside dungeons it's not that good. But it does have a cool ability you can use to clear rooms out quickly. It's like a style point sword more than anything else. So yeah, I have no idea how the sword got past the admins, but your gilded Midas is now obsolete to a sword that's in high supply and costs less than a piece of superior. I expect a nerf in the coming days, and if it doesn't get nerfed, then the admins absolutely have something up their sleeves. I don't know what it is, but it would be interesting to see. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to not panic sell your stuff right after you watch this video. Wait a day or two maybe. And yeah, have a nice day. See ya.